Hey everybody, Matthew and Steve here from MiniWarGaming.com, and welcome to another episode of Watchers in Death, our Age of Sigmar narrative campaign. I hope that you've been enjoying it so far.
I have.
Yeah, we are filming this literally the day before the first episodes went out last week, so we don't know yet about your feedback, but we know that we loved filming that first game. The second game was good too, but that first game was just so much fun to do. And I'm going to try to keep elements like that first game throughout the campaign, where we're going to mix role-playing with the actual game. And some games will be different than others. It's not always going to be quite that detailed, but definitely going to be very story-heavy. This time, we're actually going to start with a story time, meaning we're going to, because now there's some time for the guys to talk, and they're not in combat, and so we're going to be doing that right away. Also, if this is your first time watching Watchers in Death, make sure you go back and watch the first episodes. But we are giving away our first 3 Age of Sigmar narrative campaigns for free. If you are willing to try out the MiniWarGaming Vault for free. That's right, you don't have to pay anything. And even if you cancel, you still get all access to the 3 campaigns, including this one, as it comes out. Just go to miniwargaming.com/AOS as an Age of Sigmar. And you can get it free there. Nice. There's a link in the video description as well. So that's all I'm going to say about that, because I want to really get into the story time as soon as possible. But, and spoilers, of course, because this is an ongoing story, so if you're not going to watch it in order, then you're going to get spoilers.
Oh, you got to watch the first episode.
The first episode is so good. Yeah. We don't know about this one yet. This one might suck, for all we know. We haven't done it yet, so I hope it's good. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be great. So, we started off with a lot of mystery. We're going to be explaining some things that are happening right now. Your guys woke up, starting with your one Liberator Prime, Severus. And shortly after that, he met Titus, the other Liberator Prime. He was a Astral Templar.
He was.
And then shortly after that, you met your Knight Incantor buddy, Claudius, who is which?
He's a Celestial Warbringer.
Celestial Warbringer, which are really good wizards.
Yes.
As it happens to be. What a coincidence.
What a coincidence.
That happened to be a Knight Incantor. And they awaken inside of this dungeon place. You're not quite sure where they were, all having memories of just recently been in a fight in another realm. They actually came from 3 different realms. And now they're awakened here, not sure how they got there. And then as they fight their way out through some marauders and chaos warriors, nothing too hard. And they come out to the surface, and they're in the middle of a Khorne war camp. And in the middle of a festivity of shedding of blood, as they're watching some champions vie over who gets to be the next champion for the Chaos Lord there. You guys, the Chaos Lord then promptly turns and says, whoever brings me the most of their heads gets to be my champion, which was a really bad idea, because what if each of them killed one of you and brought back 1 head each? Then they'd been like, well, I guess it's a tie, kill each other again.
Yeah,
which, you know what?
Yeah.
Or if like, yeah, because it would have it had to be a 3-way tie, otherwise it was going to be 2 heads and 1 head, right? Or 3 heads and 0 heads, so either way. It's good. So they didn't get any of your heads because you just went in there and slaughtered them. Now, you did take a bit of a beating, and then the Chaos Lord's like, well, I'll do it myself. Walks up and promptly gets destroyed.
The mage just jumped the fence and knocked him out.
Yeah, like literally just while he's in the air, he's like, ay, gunk, and he just takes him out like nothing.
He's good.
He's pretty good. Yeah, he leveled up faster than the other guys. Like the other guys were already leveled up, and he's already better. He caught up to them, even if the one guy having double experience gems. And then the whole war camp, once the Chaos Lord was killed, decided to join in on the fight. And you were going to get overwhelmed until a Lord Celestant and a prosecutor dropped from the sky. Literally the prosecutor carrying the Lord Celestant. That would have been hard. But, and they just drop in the middle, and they basically say, we need to go that way now. And we just knew them as Bob and George at the time, because they didn't have time to introduce themselves. There wasn't like this sword fight while they bantered back and forth and said, my name is this, and I am from the Stormhost, and here's my backstory. It's like, no, they were like, kill, 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 hammer, hammer, hammer. And then they all escaped. And everybody got out. The prosecutor, I think we called him Bob at the time, he got pretty beat up, but he ended up being okay. He's okay. And everybody escaped, all 5 of you. And so you're running away from this war camp, and you're like, but this isn't going to work. There's this huge chaos war shrine that's just being pulled towards us. It's pretty fast, and the rest of the army's going. And as you're just kind of working along and preparing for the fight, the Lord Celestant, he's like, don't worry, they'll forget about us in just a second. And you're like, what? Why would they forget? This is Khorne. And sure enough, you look back, and they're all starting to slow down, and then they're starting to fight amongst themselves, and eventually they stop pursuing you. And but it was kind of weird, like watching them. You can see these like confused looks on their faces. Like they're like ah, like they all of a sudden are like trying to remember what they were doing.
Oh.
And then they're like, I was in a blood rage. Well, I guess I was fighting you. And then they start attacking each other. And then they just all go into this big rage and they start fighting each other and they're all happy. So you left them all happy. So yay, happy ending for the corn guys. You're welcome. There's only 5 of us, but now you get to fight like thousands of yourselves. And so all the front lines start fighting and then everybody else starts joining on the fight. And then so you slip away during all of this. But a little puzzled.
Yeah.
Because you know that of course they'll devolve into fighting, but not when there's guys, especially guys running away. That just
True.
ticks them off to no avail, and they would have pursued you to the ends of the earth, and yet they did not. So you spend a good hour just, you don't slow down, and thankfully your Stormcast Eternal stamina allows you to keep going. Of course, the prosecutor's just like, whoosh, whoosh.
Oh, yep, yeah,
He's like, what's going on? And he just keeps scouting ahead and coming back and scouting ahead. It's like when I go on bike rides with my kids. I just go in circles on the road while they like just drive on the.
Slowly.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, I don't want to go that slow. I'll just tip over. And so yeah, he scouts ahead and comes back. And so finally, you come to a quiet area, a clearing where you're able to stop, rest, and figure out what the heck is going on. And maybe this guy has some answers for you. He is a Lord Celestant after all, and he seemed to have come to your aid.
Well, he knew why they stopped, right? Or they were going to stop.
Yeah, he seems to know something, and so he introduces himself. He turns around and he's like, okay, now that we have a moment, let me introduce myself. And then the prosecutor lands beside him as well. And he says, I am Lord Celestant. Augustus of the
Hammers of Sigmar.
Hammers of Sigmar, the storm host of Hammers of Sigmar. And this is my companion,
Nero.
the Prosecutor Prime Nero of the
Knights of Aurora.
Knights of Aurora. These are all real storm hosts. We're not making these up.
Yeah.
And as they went on to explain their stories, the beginning of their stories sounds very familiar. That they were in a battle in another realm, and looked like they were about to get taken out, and all of a sudden they find themselves awakened here. The Prosecutor Prime arrived just a few days ago, and the Lord Celestant had found him. So Lord Celestant says, I've actually been here for a few months now. I've been trapped in this curse. And you're like, what curse? And he's like, well, we don't have a lot of time right now because we need to head to, right now we're in the what's it called? The plains of flesh and blood. And so the corn is all around here, and we need to head south to the land of dead heroes because there's another Stormcast Eternal that we need to rescue. And but essentially what has happened is there was a Lord Arcanum Matthias of the Forge Sentinels Storm Host. And none of you have heard of that Storm Host. You're like, Forge?
I think I have.
I think you have. But none of your guys have. They're like Forge Sentinels. And he's like, yeah, we'll have to discuss what that Storm Host is later. I just don't, we need to get moving, so I don't have too much. So let me answer the basic questions here. That he was sent by Sigmar to weave a spell because we're trying to figure out, Nagash has been stealing more and more of the Stormcast Eternal souls, which obviously is a problem because the whole reason the Stormcast Eternals are able to operate is because they can recycle. And yes, there is the problem of the reforging, that they lose themselves a bit, but at the very least you still get a soldier back, and so the cause furthers even though the individual may suffer because of it. But now the war against Nagash has become has had a heavy toll because Nagash is actually finding ways using his night haunts, especially the jailers, to capture more and more of the Stormcast Eternal souls and then torture them, turn them into night haunt, destroy them, whatever he wants to do with them depending on the individual soul and how much it resists. And so Sigmar was concerned with this. So Lord Arcanum Matthias was tasked, given special power by Sigmar, he was given a greater endowment of power than a typical Lord Arcanum would be, which is already very powerful, by the way, and sent to the realm of death to weave a spell, a ritual that, if completed, would protect the Stormcast Eternal souls in the realm of death, at least local to certain areas that they can cast this ritual. And that would allow it to be harder for the jailers. It wouldn't be impossible, it would be harder for the jailers to capture the souls. They would slip away a lot easier. It would take a lot more effort of Nagash to grab onto those souls and not let them get away. Well, Nagash, of course, can see all that goes on in the realm of death. It's just most of the time he's too busy dealing with bigger problems to deal with you. So, you come across a skeleton, technically he can act through that skeleton, but he's just like, he can only be in so many places at once. He's unlike what he likes to tell people, he is not all-powerful. He is just very powerful. And the Lord Celestant, you can tell he's bitter as he talks about this. Nagash, the great betrayer, the great usurper, he thinks that the realm is his, but it's not his. It was never meant to be his, and he's turned this place to this hellish pit that it is. It's supposed to be a place of rest for the soul before they move on to the who knows what is next after this. But he went and conquered all the different gods, destroyed them, and claimed the land as his own, destroying the peaceful heavens and peaceful hells that existed for different cultures, or horrible hells, but whatever. I guess they're happy, but the heavens ones aren't so happy. And yeah, so this great war, and he just speaks of this, and he kind of gets sidetracked because he just talks about how much he doesn't like Nagash. But as he comes back to it, he's like, so Nagash unfortunately took notice to this, despite all the incantations that the Lord Arcanum, that Matthias, Lord Arcanum, tried to put in place to stop this from happening. Nagash decided to pour his full power into stopping this ritual, which normally that would just be it. But because the Lord Arcanum, Matthias, had more of Sigmar's power than usual, that Nagash wasn't able to stop the ritual. So instead, he's like, well, if I can't stop it, I can curse it. And so he curses this ritual. And what happens is because one of the things the ritual is going to do is going to hide the souls of Stormcast Eternals from Nagash. He would be unable to see them. Okay. And he's like, well, if you're going to hide them from me, I can't stop that, but I can make it so that you're hidden from all. And so he curses it, and that's essentially what happens, is that the ritual goes off, but just like his great rituals was undermined by the Skaven, and so it still went off, but it was changed. Right. So Sigmar's ritual through Lord Arcanum Matthias went off, but it was manipulated, and all of a sudden Sigmar couldn't see any of the Stormcast Eternals anymore, and he lost them all. And there was hundreds of them that were lost to him. And on top of that, he noticed throughout all the realms that occasionally another Stormcast Eternal, instead of returning to him, would disappear. And you've been explained that you guys were about to return to the realm of heaven, and whatever battle you were fighting, you were about to lose, like you personally were about to die and return to the realm of heaven, and this curse yanked you down here. Now, it doesn't happen to every Stormcast Eternal, otherwise that would be horrendous. That would be the end of Stormcast Eternals. It happens to like 1 out of 100 or 1 out of 1,000. They're not quite sure of all the details because it's only been a couple years that this has happened. So it's not been that long. And that the Lord Arcanum had weaved this spell since the Great Necroquake. So that he's been studying it and trying to figure out how he can reverse the curse, reverse the ritual. And that's really all there is to it right now. So he's like, so I've been tasked as I've been cursed here for a few months now, and he had tasked me along with other lords, Lord Celestants, Lord Relictors have been pulled in here, all sorts of different kinds, even Lord Exorcists, souls that would typically be able to resist this, just get yanked in with no problem. And they've been tasked to move about because when a Stormcast Eternal gets pulled here, they just kind of get yanked and tossed to a certain area. It's just random. But for some reason, Matthias is able to kind of detect where they go, and he's able to then send out his agents to go and collect them. Unfortunately, not all of them get there in time. And the curse is so bad that since your soul is hidden, it's even hidden from yourself. And that over time, this is why your armor has turned black, it's tarnishing your soul and slowly changing you to a thing of undeath. And if you are to die here, then unfortunately, Sigmar won't be able to claim your soul. And as far as I can tell, Nagash claims it, but they're not even quite sure about that.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's a race against time here, that eventually you are doomed. Even if you never die, you are doomed to eventually forget yourself and become a creature of undeath that just kind of wanders off and disappears into the night and never to be seen again, as far as you know. As far as you know.
Morbid.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's kind of dire.
And so run from now on.
What's that?
Never in combat again.
No. I don't want to die. Yeah, death is actually pretty scary now for these guys. Before as much as reforging was a horribly painful process, at least you got to be put back together again.
Be brave, you're coming back.
Yeah, you're like, that's okay. I know I'll lose a bit of myself, but I'll fight for Sigmar. Now it's like, what'll happen to me when I die?
I don't want to know.
It's like all of a sudden, all that faith is for nothing. Like, what do we believe in? We can't even. They couldn't even choose to worship Nagash if you wanted to, because he can't see you either. Huh. And so you've been tasked basically.
Scary. Yeah, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah,
especially in this realm.
Yeah,
this world, universe.
Yeah. There's nobody to have faith in. And it's so bad that, unfortunately, your souls are so tainted that you can't even go to other Stormcast Eternals and be like, hey, because they just won't see you that way anymore. And that everybody just sees you as something that you're not. And it's just like the Khorne guys back there, once you were far enough away from them, they just kind of forgot about you. Your soul was just almost like the Idneth Deepkin's magic, where they're like, you never knew this guy, he never existed. It's like as you leave, that wears off, and they're left wondering where you went. And that's why all of a sudden they're like, well, the only logical explanation is I was fighting the guy next to me. So, all right, let's do this. And so that's there is a benefit to that, right? But it's a horrible curse because it means that you can't form any long-lasting relationships, even with each other. Over time, you are going to forget each other. And so it's really dire. So your mission right now is to then seek after this other Stormcast Eternal that even the Lord Celestant doesn't know who he or she is. All they know is a general location of a feeling, because Matthias, as much as they're invisible to all the gods, for some reason, Loricana Matthias is linked to everybody, and he can feel your presence and know where you are. But he's headed off to Shadespire, and you might have to go and find him later on, but you're not quite sure yet. But that's where he's at. He's headed off to Shadespire to try to find some answers to, or a way out of this curse. But you're all the way in Halost right now, the continent of Halost, and you're going to have to head down to, well, I think I already said it, but I've already forgotten, the Land of Dead Heroes. There is a city of forgotten heroes that nobody even remembers the name of the city.
Sounds like a sad place.
Yeah, it's a city of forgotten heroes. It was cursed by Nagash at one point. That, once again, I don't know, Nagash seems to like this whole forgetful thing. That you're going to see it in a second, but it's just called the City of Forgotten Heroes, and that's where this blip on the radar is that you need to go. So you don't know who it is, what you're going to walk into. All you know is that you need to go there. And unfortunately, you have to go by foot. There's no more teleporting around, and the prosecutor can't carry all of you. So it's quite the journey. It takes days, maybe even weeks to get there, but for the most part, you're able to guide through areas that aren't too inhospitable and just avoid combat. See, the nice thing is, with this whole forgetful thing, as long as you don't get too close to people, they kind of can't really notice you either. So you're like a hobbit amongst the goblins. You're just like, you can't see me. And they just like walk by you, and you're just like, that's right. I'm a stealthful guy now. So that's right. Even though you're walking around in heavy armor, you're stealthy now, which is just a weird feeling. You're like, but people normally see me from like a mile away and hear me from a mile away. So we're going to go into the board now, into the bit of the battle report. It's not going to start off right into the battle report. We're going to go into showing as you enter the City of Fallen Heroes, and we're just going to take the story from there. Let's go take a look. You walk into the City of Forgotten Heroes. Lord Celestant's looking around, and you can see all sorts of skeletons, but they're not, and as much as these skeletons show armor and all that kind of stuff, like they do have the equipment, but it's all sheathed, and the shields in their back, and they all seem to be working. They are tending to the gardens or polishing the statues. Some of them are digging at things. You're not even quite sure what they're doing. Other ones are over here, and they're tending to everything. In fact, everything looks immaculate. Everything's nice and clean. The ground, of course, has its wear and tear, but you can see some of them with brooms sweeping the floor and pushing. Not that they're really accomplishing much when they're sweeping everything, but they just are all at work. And as far as you see more skeletons just busy at work, totally oblivious to you as you walk in. And as you walk in, all of a sudden, Titus looks around and is like, I know this place. I don't know why I know this place. And he wanders carelessly over to this statue, kind of aimlessly, and the rest of them are just looking over at him. And as you look at the inscriptions on each of these, you can't really read them. They're all faded, even though they're taking care of everything. That you can tell that these are statues to some sort of mighty heroes, and yet every single inscription that you look at is faded and worn out, never to be remembered again. But Titus looks around and he's like, this is The Avenue of Heroes. I remember this place. I think I'm from here, but I don't remember the name of it. And he just, as you look around, he feels a sense of familiarity to this whole area. Lord Celestant looks forward, and he's like, our objective is forward. Now, as much as it's not modeled here, basically at the end, there's this big, giant mausoleum area. He's like, I feel that whatever we're looking for, the Stormcast Eternal we're looking for, is coming from in there. But I feel the foul magics of this place. And of course, you know, teeming with skeletons. You don't see a living soul anywhere. It's just undead everywhere, maintaining all the structures. Over to you, Steve. What would you like to do?
Be confused.
Be confused?
Nothing looks aggressive, right?
Not right now. All their weapons are sheathed. Like, they're definitely carrying weapons. But, you know, it's like makeshift swords and little blades.
Nonchalant.
They don't look like an organized army. They just look like individuals. So you're just going to keep moving forward?
Whistling. Nonchalantly. Yeah, we belong here.
Yeah. We're undead just like you guys. Some of the skeletons look up over at your characters, and just you see their mouths move a bit, but no sound comes out, and they just go back to their tasks. I know as a player you're resisting the urge to go get all that experience.
Look at all that experience. But I also know Matthew will, like, every one of them turn into a dragon.
Yeah.
If he wants them to.
Yeah, they'll all combine together into one skeleton dragon.
Or I get to the center of the room and they all attack me.
Yeah.
What's going on, Matthew?
As you move forward, Titus, once again, he actually is like, I think I recognize that statue. Yeah, so he wanders a little closer, keeping his distance from the skeletons, who just kind of look up at him. And he looks up at it, and a name comes to his mind, Erebus. And when he says that out loud, one of the skeletons turns and looks up at him. And he looks down at the skeleton, and he recognizes him. He's like, I don't know why, but this skeleton right here is Erebus. And then the Lord Celestant's like, I've heard of this place. This has been cursed by Nagash. It was a city of heroes. Every single occupant here was a hero of some age. And they were cursed to be forgotten and to have to tend to their own statues and their own graves, even though they're no longer inside of them, polishing them for all of eternity and to serve for their vanity of how much they thought they were so important during life.
Should we release them? Should we release their inner experience? I mean, soul?
Those little blue gems that come out of them that go into you and you go, level up.
Yeah, no, they do.
Steve's wondering, like, this whole battle report's just a test to see if Steve can walk by a bunch of experience points without starting a fight.
Alright, I'm just gonna... come on, man, I know what to do! I can't leave all this experience.
Oh, you want to start a fight?
I don't know. Are they all like heroes? Every one of them's a white king stat?
You don't know. They just look like regular skeletons. But as you do look closer, now that he's said that and recognizes that, as you do look closer, you realize the blades they are carrying, they are pretty ornate. But in each of them unique in its own way, but all tarnished and rusty. And like you can see where gems would have been, but there's no more gems. Like everything is gloriously no longer glorious. Even their clothing, you realize those are fine silks that they're wearing around their waists in rags. And their shields, you can see like iconography, but you can't recognize any of it. But they all look like great houses. And yet they're just on these horribly inefficient wooden shields. Like just the great irony of these wonderful heroes carrying these relic blades that have all tarnished and gone to ruin as they tend to their own grave sites. So what you gonna do? We're still in real time mode. We're not in turn-based mode.
Well, then I think we're just gonna
move a little further.
We're just gonna go off. Really
and if you're wondering where the Prosecutor Prime is, I guess we should probably say that.
Oh yeah.
What's his name again?
Nero.
He's currently circling above. Whoosh, just kind of scouting and looking at him. When you call up to him, he just says all he sees is skeletons for miles. Like this entire city is just skeletons sweeping the floors and washing with dusty, non-wet rags. Yeah, there's thousands of experience. You could max out your levels with all the skeletons here.
Would you guys still watch if I just sat here for the next 6 hours getting my skeleton experience?
Skeleton experience. But as you get closer to the steps,
all of a sudden you can feel in your souls this bone-chilling sound. A voice speaks to you, and you hear it, but you don't see it yet. It's like, your souls are come due. You will not escape the master's reaping. I will. But he runs away. We break. What do you know? No, hold on a second. You're listening to this. You don't get to act right now. This is a cutscene.
Oh, sorry.
It's a cutscene. You can't touch it. Don't press space. Don't press space. Your souls have come due. I will find you. You cannot remain hidden forever. And an apparition appears in front of you. And this weird night haunt looking guy on this enormous skeletal steed appears. Just incorporeal, though. Even more incorporeal than the night haunt usually are. Almost like he's a vision of a vision. And he looks down and he's like, Lord Celestant, I have your scent. The curse will not keep you hidden from me. I will find you wherever you flee to. For I am Reikenor, and I am the great reckoner and great collector of souls for Nagash. And you can see the skeletons all of a sudden looking up at him. And we got Severus looking over this way, and he's like, guys, the skeletons are pulling out their weapons. And
So glad we walked in the center of the room.
Yeah, right? Hey, you wanted your experience, man. And they all turn and they start moaning and going forward and pulling out their... And they make these motions like they're issuing challenges, but they don't quite remember how.
Oh.
As they all start stumbling towards you. And the apparition disappears. And we switch into turn-based mode.
Okay.
When we're going to roll to see who goes first. And then we're going to keep that order. Because for now, we're just going to keep the random turns out of this. You get a 6. It's fine.
I don't know if you're recording yet.
I was recording. I was just waiting for you. And I got a 2. So whatever you choose, that's permanent.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you'll take first turn, obviously. Hero phase. You do get your first command point.
We'll cast the Spirit Storm right away, because that's what we do.
That's what you do. What's it require again?
I need just 7 by M+1. So that's going to fail.
That's a 6 in total with the +1, which does not work. Now, one thing we did forget is that your Knight Incanter gets a free move before the game actually starts. Do you want to take that?
Nah, he's fine.
He's fine where he is? He's close. He's pretty close to everything anyways.
That's true. Oh, wait. Well, we couldn't ignore this experience for very long.
Lord Celestant, his move is like, what, 8 right now?
Yeah.
Because he's got the Gem of Movement.
Oh, yeah, you get the upgrade.
So he's got +3. So
Why
he's...
is this so 8?
Yeah, he moves 8.
Everybody's actually pretty fast.
Yeah, you've been rolling a lot of movement upgrades, and then you found the one gem, which was the +3 to your movement.
Yeah, even poor Silver's here is 6.
A couple upgrades to remember is that he has a 12-inch aura of ignoring mortal wounds on a 5+. He has a 6-inch aura of the first time you take mortal wounds from a spell every round, you reduce it by D3. He also has a 12-inch aura of healing because of all the gems that he's mashed into his shield. At the beginning of each round on a 5+, anybody within, like you roll for each guy within 12 inches, including himself. On a 5+, they heal a wound. On a 6+, they actually heal 2 wounds instead. So just gotta, there's a bunch of other things too, and hopefully we'll remember them as the game goes on.
Claudius has a 7-inch move.
So,
And Titus is like, oh.
so basically just out of 3 inches.
We got a cloak of hammers to throw in the shooting phase.
You're gonna twirl your cloak and do D6 hammers. Where are you gonna throw them?
All 5 into this squad.
The squad over there. So 4 ups, we'll do mortal wounds. So 2 mortal wounds.
Gus is going to charge first.
Anything but a double 1. Huh. You want to use your 1 command point to reroll that?
You know.
Because he's a hero, you can use the command ability.
I'm going to do it.
Might as well.
There's no reason to not.
Well, he's got his other command ability of giving everybody an extra attack.
I should be okay, unless these are all White Kings.
We're about to find out, aren't we? The first 2 seem to die with only 1 mortal wound each.
Oh, that's true.
So at least you know they don't have more than 1 wound.
It's true. We're going to jump over. Go with Titus next. And we're just going to
Charge in.
really close.
Knight Incanter.
Claudius, yeah, he's a fighter.
Oh, just barely.
Barely? Severus also going to charge. See if he can do anything.
11 inches. Where does he want to go with that?
He went too far. Okay, I think.
You just want to kind of keep him in the middle of everybody, right?
I do.
You're going to have Severus fight first?
Absolutely. Hey, we're hitting on 3s.
And 4s.
I want 2 of them.
Well, you got 1.
Okay.
And you have no Ren, so my shield's actually give me a +1 save, so 5 up. Saved.
He doesn't kill.
No, he doesn't. He's a healer, not a killer. These skeletons then just pile in silently. It's kind of disconcerting. Usually the skeletons will have some sort of rattling noise that they make in death. But these ones just kind of silently move towards you, pulling their weapons out. Just 5 on to Titus, your Liberator Prime. 4s and 4s. Boo. Alright. That was... Alright!
Okay. Claudius.
And the Your Knight Incantor Claudius. 4s and 4s. 2. The 3-up save. Ah, he's fine. Next up, Lord Celestant.
Yes, so we're starting off with a Rune Blade.
Gets an extra attack on the charge.
Oh, 3s.
And,
Oh, 3s. I can't get my hand on it.
come on! 3 of them, and they're -1 rend.
They are.
So the shields won't work, and it ignores their 6-up. Crashes through 3 of them.
My hammer. On
4s and 3s. Nope, nothing. These skeletons will pile into the indestructible Liberator Prime Severus with his awesome 3-up save in close combat, rerolling 1s thanks to the shield. So strong. 7 of them are in range, hitting on 4s,
Jeez.
wounding on 4s. All right, well, make your 3-up rerolling 1s. Yeah, dead.
Claudius going next.
So he has an upgrade that when he charges, he gets +1 to wound rolls. So he's a 3 to hit. Oh, 2 to wound.
Ah,
Okay, good thing.
helped.
And it is a -1 rend, so it ignores their armor, and it does D3 damage, so 2 of them die. Could have done so much more. And then that's... Oh, wait, no, I guess I still have more to fight. These skeletons here will pile on in. They all got spears, so we're hitting on 5s. Oh, okay. Apparently spears are better. And 4s. Ooh, we got 2 wounds on your Lord Celestant. Can you make us 3-up saves? Nope.
I'll take one.
He does ignore wounds on a 6+. No. Because he has a Hammer of Sigmar, so he's down to 4 wounds.
Titus is up next. 3 attacks hitting on 4s. Now on the charge, he's +1 to wound as well. With
So
2s.
he got that upgrade too?
Yep.
And these are -1 rend?
They are.
And normal,
2
and they're 2 damage apiece. So he sweeps out and destroys 4 of them. Into the morale phase. We lost 6 in this unit.
Battle shock phase.
Sorry, battle shock phase. They lost 6 in their leadership or their bravery 10. No, they're fine. The other ones didn't lose enough for them to lose any more to battle shock. On to undead turn 1 or death turn 1. You hear a voice. Who dares disturb my slumber?
Oh.
And with that, a white king animates right outside of this. He just beckons with one hand, and a unit of Grave Guard erupt around him as his personal guard. And on this side, out of this one, another white king pops out with his own personal bodyguard of Grave Guard, carrying his banner, which is faded to not even show the emblem on it anymore. Now the White Kings do have the ability to bring back skeletons, but I'm going to not have them use that ability in the first turn they just arrived here. So they're not going to be allowed to move, use any hero abilities in the hero phase, but they can do a charge. This unit of skeletons starts wandering over this way. The White King beckons forward and the Grave Guard charge forward. No, they don't. And these skeletons then, hey, look at that. They make it in against Titus. Start the big group into Titus. The spears hit on 5s, but they're within 18 inches of a death hero, so they get +1 to hit. So they're hitting on 4s. Oh, that sucked. 4 is the wound. 2 wounds. 4+ save. Hey! And there's nothing to ignore that. His wounds were upgraded though, so he started at 5, so he's down to 4 now.
We're with Lord Celestant over here. Start off with my Rune Blade. We're hitting on 3s.
Oh.
And we're moving on 3s.
Oh.
Okay.
And then your hammer?
4s.
Okay, there's 1.
And 3s.
Oh. Okay.
Being around Severus, starting to wear off.
I'll have all these guys pile in and fight against Severus now. Actually, I'm going to pile them in like this, just to make an opening for the Next wave to come in. 8 attacks. They do get the +1 to hit, so they're hitting on 3s with their swords. Ooh, that's a little nicer. Can we maybe hurt Severus? 4s to wound. Hey, we got 4 wounds. You got your 3-up save, re-rolling 1s. Oh my goodness, that 3 is saving you so many times.
Claudius, we go next. We're gonna put 2 attacks into this squad, and then 1 into this squad.
Does he have reach? I guess he has that
inches,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah, he has reach on that one.
I just color code them. So 3s. And 3s.
3s, you did not charge. So you hit the other squad, and you do D3 damage to them.
Interesting.
2. And you should just focus on the ones in front of you.
Well, I should have.
This group against your Lord Celestant. 4s and 4s. Because we got the hero nearby. Oh, good thing. Those would have been half as many hits. 2 wounds. And you get your 3-up save. Oh, look at that. You're on a lot of 3s specifically.
3s exactly, yeah.
Specifically showing how powerful a 3-up save is. Thank you very much.
Severus is up next.
Yeah.
3s and 4s.
Hey! 5-up save though because there's no rend. And then 6-up to ignore it because they're within 6 inches of the White King. You got 1, but that's 2 experience, man.
Oh, it leveled up.
Yay!
It leveled up.
Does it level him up?
Yeah, it does.
Click. So you hit level 5, so you get the Sigmarite Brotherhood level 5 ability, which is basically the Protector's ability. Kind of, I've modified it a bit. That friendly models wholly within 3 inches of him, that are shot at with missile weapons, again, by enemies that are closer to him than the enemy, or than the model they're targeting. I'm sorry, this is making it sound way more complicated than it is. Essentially, he will provide cover to any friendlies within 3 inches of him as long as he's closer to the shooter than they are.
There you go.
That's it. It's hard to write that out, but it's really that simple. And he also gets to roll for an upgrade. You got a 9, which is roll on any general upgrade tree. Which one?
Tough.
Oh, of course.
Do I have that?
You already have that one.
Okay.
Roll it again.
Do I have that
You
one?
cannot be stunned.
Okay.
That's kind of nice. I feel like him leveling up after killing 1 skeleton is equivalent to one of the very first role-playing games I ever played, where in the mission, your weapons, it was Advanced Fighting Fantasy, and your weapons always did 2 damage. But when they came across this group of skeletons, only blunt weapons did 2 damage. Everything else did 1 damage, unless the player said that they were going to turn their sword and hit them with the blunt part of their sword. And they had to specify that, though. They had to kind of come up with that on their own. And so it's like Severus is like, oh man, why is this sword not working? Wait, blunt. Crunch. He's like, oh, that's so much better, guys.
Hit him with the back of the sword.
Yeah, that's right. Or yeah, the butt of the sword.
Or the crossbar, what do you call it thing?
Whatever, the hilt, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he figured it out. He's like, oh, you don't try to cut bones. Weird.
So bad.
And then I have this squad. We've actually got one right here. Well, actually, he looks like he's closer to him, so no, he's within an inch. So 3 and 1. 3s and 4s. Okay. And 3s and 4s against Titus. All right. You know, guys. No real battle shock test here because you didn't kill enough to make anybody consider running. So you're kind of locked in combat with a bunch of these lackeys as the more serious threats of White Kings and Graveguard are coming your way. So let's go into your turn. So you get a command point back at this point.
We're going to cast Spirit Storm right away. 6 is hard to cast. Hey.
So that's a 10. So as you go to cast it, this White King all of a sudden holds up his blade
No, he doesn't.
and declares an incantation to try to unbind it.
Oh.
He's got the one artifact that turns him into a wizard. But he'll have to roll. You rolled a 9, which became a 10, so I have to roll an 11 or 12. Nope. So that'll get 1 from this squad. This squad's within 6 inches of the White King, so they ignore it on a 6. Not ignored. 1 from here. 1 from here. Graveguard ignored on a 6+, and so does the White King. So the White King takes a wound. This White King goes down to 4 wounds.
We're going to drop down Nero. Say hello.
He's like, oh, I guess I should help you guys out.
We do our cloak of hammers in the shooting phase.
D6 hammers come flying out. We got 4 of them.
They're
Where are they
gonna go
going?
After the guy's fighting Severus.
Just try to free him up a bit.
Yeah.
Each 4+ is a mortal wound, which I ignore on 6s, thanks to be close to the White King. I ignore 1 of them, so 2 of them. Crushed. That actually levels up your Lord Celestant. And he rolls a 5, which is also general upgrade tree.
We're gonna go tough with him as well.
2, so it can't be stunned. We forgot that he actually has regeneration. He heals a wound at the beginning of each hero phase.
Or he could have.
And then everybody within 12 inches on a 5+, but nobody else is close enough for that. That's hurt.
And we're gonna throw our hammers over back at the ones fighting Claudius.
4 is to hit. Yep, he
not very
misses. Yeah. And he charges 3d6 inches for a whopping 8 inches.
Nah, it's gonna hit down.
We know that you needed 9. Now, do you want to use your 1 command point? Or are you trying to save it for him getting extra attacks to everybody?
So extra attacks for everybody over there, or this guy getting into combat. I'm better off getting this guy into combat.
Yeah, probably. Get him some experience, too.
Yeah.
There you go. 11 inches.
We're good.
Where's he going?
We're gonna put him right in the back here.
Now, because of his Storm Host, which is what again?
Knights of Aurora.
Knights of Aurora, if they charge, they get to fight first in the combat phase before the normal sequence, which means he'll fight, and then you get to choose somebody else to fight.
3 attacks on 3s.
Oh, come on, man.
And 3s.
Is there a rend or anything?
Nope, no rend.
So 5 up. Okay,
All right,
shield
all right.
save them. And now we start the normal sequence, so you get to choose first.
I'm going with Titus. Yeah, he's hurt over here a little bit.
Oh no, he's got a wound on him. He's in mortal danger.
He's hitting on
4s. Oh, come on, guys.
And 3.
No, you can't do anything.
Oh no.
Let's put these 3 into your Knight Incantor. 3s and 4s. So 2 hits. Nothing. Wow.
Alright, Gus is up. He's gonna try to chop these guys down.
So 3s with his blade.
Yep.
3s and 3s. Hey, look, he actually only missed 1.
Hey,
And there's a rend.
Yep.
And just 1 damage apiece.
Yep.
So, oh, wait. Yeah, they're not close enough to ignore wounds, so 3 of them die. And his hammer.
Yep. 4s.
Oh, look at that.
3s.
Is there a rend on
No
the
rend,
hammer?
no rend.
So we do get a 5-up save. So 1 more dies. And these 4 will go into Severus. 3s and 4s. All right. Well, we got 2 wounds. You get 3 up rerolling ones. Oh, does he ignore wounds or anything?
I don't. This.
He does ignore wounds on a 6+. He takes a wound. So he's down to 3 because he hasn't gained any wounds yet. He doesn't have like regeneration or anything, right?
So Claudius is gonna whack at these skeletons over here.
The bigger group?
Yep.
You don't want to free yourself up?
I don't think it'll matter. You're up next.
All right.
Yeah. So we're hitting all 3s.
Ooh, actually hit all of them.
3s to wound.
And they're -1, so they don't get a save. And you killed 3 of them. Wow. You have the potential to kill 9. You're just not doing it. Which of my guys haven't fought yet? They fought. They fought.
So they haven't fought. And
Yeah, they fought.
They fought?
Yeah,
Oh,
they haven't fought.
They have definitely haven't. And they just.
Yeah, because you are almost done.
You
So
wouldn't.
2 of them, so 3s and 4s into your Lord Celestant. There's a wound. He has a 3-up save. And, oh,
Hey,
he
okay.
takes it. He'll just regenerate it anyways in his turn.
No, he goes on.
6 up to ignore it. Back down to 4 for you. And a good old useless Severus.
So we're
Well, he's not useless. He's
gonna-
very tough. He's a
We're
good
gonna
team.
hit you with the pommel.
Okay, okay.
Does that mean we hit
Okay.
worse but wound better, like a hammer?
You know what? Sure.
So now we're hitting on 3s, wounding on.
No, 4s and 3s now.
Okay, so 4s and 3s.
Yeah, yeah.
4s and 3s.
Hey!
Actually,
you didn't need it. You did it. It got worse because of it. For those of you, okay, if you weren't able to follow that, normally it's 3s and 4s, so statistically I'm sure do 4s and 3s, but then he rolled a 3 then a 4, so he would have got more, maybe, you'd have got 1 more hit off. Okay, 5-up saves, and 6s to ignore it. Ah, you got 2 of them, that's 4 experience! Oh, that was the best. Oh, Severus. So we did lose enough skeletons here, we lost 5 of them, I think. So we're good for our battle shock, and we lost 4 of them. Yeah, not enough for a battle shock there, and not enough because I have to lose 5 in 1 round to care about battle shock. So that goes then into. Oh, you never used your command. Oh, you did use your command
did for the
point.
reroll.
That's right. So you weren't able to activate your. Everybody within 12 inches gets an extra attack. So that's too bad. That's a very useful command trait if you can pull it off. So now it is death. Turn 2. The White King summons more skeletons back. 1. Unfortunately, he's out of range to do for any others. And then he, with a glance, shoots an arcane bolt over at your Lord Celestant. Yes, you can still try to stop it with him.
I use a scroll.
Really? Okay.
Roll me.
Yeah. All right. You stopped an arcane bolt, but that would have done 1 mortal wound. Good job.
Well, maybe you kill me.
Then he's going to pop his command ability, which gives all death rattle within 12 inches of him +1 to their attacks, and that goes until his next hero phase. Graveguard are going to wander towards your Lord Celestant. The White King is interested in the best of your heroes to prove how awesome he is, or was. These ones are pretty far away, so I'm going to run. That's the skeletons, and that's the White King. And I do get a -1 of that because of your Spirit Storm. Everything within 18 inches gets -1 run and charge. And then the White King will just come out to here. No shooting, so we're going to charge these Graveguard. I think I'll be within the -1, so it's
You're good, yeah.
6 inches. We're just going to make sure the 1 gets in, and the rest are just going to leave a spot for the White King to try. And 7 inches, so he's good. That's dangerous for your Lord Celestant. Skeletons were just to hold you back. The Graveguard, with their 2-handed weapons, will pile in and fight first. White King beckoning them forward and prodding them onto the attack. Normally they have 2 attacks each, but with that command ability off, they have an extra attack. So we're looking at 3 attacks each with their 2-handed weapons. So they hit on 3s, wound on 3s. That was pretty bad. That was below average roll right there. Now the wounding on 3s is special because if I roll any 6s, then those they do double damage. Whoa! These are all -1 rend, so you're at 4-up save. No rerolls anywhere. So you want to start the double damage ones?
Yeah.
Oh, you did it, you punk! You did it!
Oh.
It takes 1 wound.
I ignored a 6. No,
No.
I take that wound.
Oh, you could have been struck down right there. Now it's your turn.
How many wounds in the White King? Just 5?
He's got 5, so you could kill him in 1 swing. I think it's just a 4. Let me double check. I'm sorry, I got his command ability wrong. So yes, commenters, whoever put it down, you're right. He chooses 1 death rattle unit within 18 inches. They get +1 attack. I totally would have been the Graveguard.
Yeah.
So it all worked out anyways. Would have been cool if I had everything within 12. I bet the death players are like, I wish.
He's gonna go next.
He's going to take on the White King.
Because I'm charged, I get +1 attack.
You were charged?
Yes.
Also, you have a rule that when you're charged, you get +1 attack.
So we're going with the sword. Everything's doing the White King. So we're 3s.
Not bad to start.
And 3s. Oh, you can't kill him.
-1 rend, so he's got a 4-up instead of 3-up. And he ignores it on 6. So he takes 1 wound.
And the hammers, 4s
Ugh.
and 3s.
Oh,
right.
So he takes 1 wound in total. So that brings me down to 4 wounds, and it's my turn. Let's put these 3 skeletons in Severus.
It hurt him.
They smell blood. No, they don't really. Their noses are just skeleton noses. 3s to hit because they got a death hero nearby, thankfully. 4s to wound. We got 1 wound. You get a 3-up save. Rerolling 1s. Ha ha!
Oh.
Oh! You don't ignore. Oh, you have feel. Yeah, you feel no pain 6-up or ignoring wounds on a 6. Look at you down to 2 wounds, Mr. Indestructible Severus.
Titus gonna go next.
Yeah, show him, Titus. Show him how it's done. So you're looking at 4s to hit? Yeah, that's not how it's done, Titus. 3s to wound? That's definitely not how it's done, Titus. Well, I can't use kill regular skeletons. Like, you take out my Blades of Corn heroes like that.
nothing.
But they're skeletons, my goodness.
They're impossible.
They're so hard. There's no flesh to cut. So the 3 skeleton warriors into Claudius, your 19 canter, hitting him on 3s, wounding him on 4s. We got 2 wounds on him. He's got a 3-up save. Takes a wound. Nothing to ignore it, I don't think.
No.
That's right. He and everybody within 12 inches ignore mortal wounds on a 5+. Good to know. So he's down to 4 wounds. 4 spearmen over there attack Titus.
Kind of my turn, but I mean.
Is it your turn?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's your turn. Sorry. So what
It
would
don't
you like
really
to do?
matter anymore.
I know.
We're doing alternating. Claudius.
You were the one just doing some rolling, so I figured it was my turn next. But that was your saving throws. Yeah. So who's fighting now?
Claudius.
Claudius.
Back on 3s.
Oh, goodness. Oh my goodness!
Now you can rule.
I told you not to bother. Now I'll fight against Titus, hitting on 4s and 4. I got a wound on him. 3-up or 4-up.
I didn't get a wound.
Oh, that's right. He reflects damage on a 6+ because of his 1 gem of reflection. Blam. Mortal wound.
I'll have Nero go next. Ooh, hitting all threes.
Hey, that's more than one.
Threes.
Hey, that's more than one too. No rend on these.
rend.
So 5 up with their shields. And the White King, I don't think he's within 6 inches anymore. Oh no, he is. 6 up. So 2 die. I'm gonna put the 2 skeletons of the Lord Celestant. I'm gonna save the White King for last. 3s and 4s. Ah! Ho ho ho! Look at that. 3 up. No.
Severus is up.
Can Severus kill 1 skeleton?
Yes, he can.
Before you roll.
He's gonna try it the proper way.
Blunt or
blunt.
sharp?
We're gonna stab him in the ribs.
3s to hit. 4s to wound. Ah, you did it! You did it the opposite! You should have done it the other way! It did. It both turned. You tried to stab a skeleton. It doesn't work. 5 up save. And 6 up ignoring it because you tried it the wrong way. Oh, you darn it!
Sure, you're too far.
Oh, I killed the one that was closest. Yeah, that was my bad. I had a guy that was here that was closer. You're right. You got him, all right. 2 experience. Lastly, we got the White King fighting against Lord Celestant. What's Lord Celestant's name again?
Augustus.
Augustus. So he's got 4 attacks, hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s. Now, if he rolls 6s, it goes from 1 damage to D3 damage. No 6s, but we do have 2 wounds at -1 rend, so you get a 4 up save. You take 1 damage, which you ignore on a 6. No. Oof, he is hurt. Down to 2 wounds out of his original 5. Now he will heal one of those in your turn. Back to your turn, so you get another command point, and you regenerate.
I do. But I also get to heal off my shield.
That's right. So everything within 12 inches of him on a 5+ heal. Who do you want to roll for first?
I'll roll him first.
And on a 6, they heal 2.
Nope.
Nothing.
All right, Severus. Ooh.
Oh, he got all his health back. Jeez.
We're gonna do a Spirit Storm over here.
That's
Got
an
it.
8. Well, I will try to unbind it with my White King, who's actually a wizard. And I do.
Okay.
Yeah, little Spirit Storm for you. Huh.
Oh, we're gonna go over to here and to here. We're fast. We're super fast.
Shooting?
Hammer cloaks first.
How many shots? Ooh, a
5
good
again.
5. Where's he putting them?
We're putting him into that White King.
Yeah, you need to kill him.
Over them 4s.
3 mortal wounds, which he ignores on 6s. It does not ignore. Down to a 1. Throwing your
Yeah, we're gonna throw our hammers into him too.
at him?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not actually within 3 inches, even though it looks like you are. So 4s and 4s. No.
It's time to charge. We're sending Severus in first.
8 inches.
Yeah.
Go after that White King.
And then
3d6 inches for him.
Oh yeah, Nero.
Yeah, he's good.
I wonder if actually
11 inches would get, yeah, it would totally get you the other side.
Or him on this side.
Because he gets to fight first when he charges.
Yeah.
You can try to finish off that White King.
Oh yep, that's the plan. At the start of the fight phase though, I'm using my command ability.
Ah,
Give everybody +1 attack.
okay. So now he's got
4.
4 attacks, and he always fights first before the normal phase. So 3s and 3s.
On the White King.
3s. Oh, 1
That's
wound.
all I needed.
Is there a rend?
No.
3 up save. Ignoring it on 6s. Oh!
Hey.
And as you strike into him, you notice something glowing on his hand, and he holds up the Ring of Immortality.
I'm gonna hand the minion another one, Matthew.
This is Artifact of Death. Basically,
Oh, he has 2 artifacts, does he?
no, the other one's a command trait.
Oh.
That makes him a wizard.
Gotcha. He
This
does
is
his sword before. You did. You just said it was a sword.
his sword.
Yeah.
No, I said he's a wizard.
No, I'm pretty sure
Wizard,
he had a
not
relic
sword.
that made That's what I heard.
No, I said
That's-
he held up his sword and did an incantation.
No.
That was just me role playing.
That's fair.
It's role playing, man. So the Ring of Immortality.
Don't make that a thing.
Every boss you come across is not going to have one.
You're gonna fail it. Yeah.
Basically, the way it works is when he takes his last wound, then on a 3+, he basically teleports 18 inches and regains D3 wounds, and any excess damage you do to him is lost. So he doesn't die no matter what. If I roll 3+. The Ring of Immortality strikes! So he just, boom, teleports to here. And then D3 wounds are restored. 3 wounds!
Woo.
And yeah, so you know what my favorite artifact now is?
What does it matter?
The Ring of Immortality. So he got to fight first before the regular combat sequence, so now you get to choose somebody.
Well, we're going to go with my Lord Celestant.
Yeah, before the Graveguard. Now he gets an extra attack because of his command ability.
All into the...
Yeah.
All right, we're hitting on 3s.
Oh!
And 3s.
Not bad.
Rend.
There's our -1 rend. Yeah, they don't have shields. Not that that would matter in this case. But they have a 5-up that becomes a 6-up, which I also ignore on 6s. Booyah! You just killed 4 of them. You may still live after all. Now it's my turn. Oh, you got your hammer. Yeah, your hammer. 3 attacks, 4s and 3s. So 2 more, no rend on these, so we got a 5-up. And ignore them on 6s. I need a double 6 here. Oh! You know, let's do these 2 little guys into your Lord Celestant. 4s and 4s, get the +1, but they are wearing, they have spears. 1 wound on your Lord Celestant, 3-up.
What was that sentence?
I don't know.
You just said a bunch of things like
3-ups.
Ty's gonna go.
He's got, is he within 12? No, he's not.
No, he's too far. He's hitting on,
Hey, he hit 4s.
3s.
My goodness.
They're all dead.
They're 2 damage apiece, right? So that just kills all 3 of them. Go Titus. And then those 3 will go into the Knight Incanter Claudius. 3s and 4s. Ugh. Oh, there's 1 wound. 3-up save. Oh, we'll slowly peel away that skin.
Clyde's gonna swing back.
Why not? 3s and 3s. No saves against the eye. You got them all. No problem. Finally. 1 Graveguard. He does have the extra attack still. Looking at 3s. All right. And then 3 to wound 6s are 2 damage. Okay, just 1 damage each. -1 though. -1, so you get 4 up. So he does take a wound, which he ignores on the 6. No. So he's down to 2. You've regenerated like 3 wounds so far, so you'd have been quite hurt without that upgrade.
Yep, that box.
And lastly, you've got Severus attacking the last 2 skeletons. Can he actually hit the? Hold on. Blunt or sharp?
Sharp.
So 3s and 4s? Okay, 3s and 4s. Oh, you didn't roll any 3s. Okay. All right, the second one didn't matter. I was going to say, if you rolled any 3s there. No rend, so I get a 5-up with my shields. And I ignore wounds on a 6-up. So 1 dies, but he gets 2 experience from that. On to my turn. So I get a command point at my... Oh, wait. Do we have any battle shock? We lost 4. Yeah, not enough for battle. So the White Kings get to choose 2 summonable units within 6 inches and restore D3 of them. So Graveguard, 2. Skeletons, 3. Oh, that's a pain. That is a pain. He's also going to use his command ability to give the Graveguard an extra attack. Oh, man, nasty.
You got to put him into the guy who's alive.
Yeah, well, there we go. We're good. And then he'll move. And then this White King will come out.
Does he have the other Ring of Immortality?
No, I'm not going to have multiple. Yeah, these are all War Scroll battalions. I have a special narrative War Scroll battalion, which is 1 White King and 1 unit of 5 Graveguard, because that's legal. And with that, I get a free artifact.
Oh, the same one you already have.
Yeah, and I can bring the double. That's part of the war. That's the actual only benefit of the War Scroll battalion.
It flies off the finger of one guy and goes to the other side, right?
Yeah. It's called the Twin Rings of Immortality. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to hold my camera.
Oh, he's got the camera in his chin.
Rings of Immortality. I forgot to Arcane Bolt. Oh, well. You said? I forgot, though. All right, Arcane Bolt. 9. You need to roll 10. You only have 1 scroll, man. Yeah, no.
Oh.
So 1 mortal wound, which you ignore on a 6. Actually, the first time in every round, you reduce
by D3.
Yeah, so I should have done Mystic Shield, because he reduces the first time every round that somebody within 6 inches takes mortal wounds from a spell. He reduces it by D3, which means I was really shooting for the 11 plus, or I could have just done Mystic Shield, which probably was a better idea. But oh well. Charge. Hi. Remember me. White King over here will charge. Yeah, 11 inches.
Measure it. Oh, you made it.
I made it. Look at that. I measured with my eyes. And then the Graveguard, can they do it though? Can they? They made it! That's definitely 10 inches. That's more like 8 inches, but you know what? We'll bring in Titus.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I want to get my guys in. That's why. The 3 grave guard.
Oh.
In there, Lord Celestant. This is gonna hurt.
No.
3s to hit. Oh!
Baby.
Oh! Unless they roll quadruple 6s.
I know.
3s to wound, 6s are double damage. Okay. No, that's pretty good. So we got 1 double damage and 3
I
regular.
can't fill this one.
4 up. Well, you did.
Okay.
Hold on. Just hold on to that and do the other ones first. 4 up. Oh, you take 4 wounds, which you ignore in 6s. Oh. Okay, so he's at 2 wounds already, so that's 1. That's 3 injury checks, so you roll 3 dice and take the worst one. Oh, stunned. He didn't roll a 6.
Ignore stun.
Is he not able to be stunned? He
can't
be stunned. He still takes the 2 wound tokens, though. So he's at 1 wound now, forevermore, until he heals. Now, he can heal 1 wound or 2 wound tokens.
Nice.
So survive this, and you'll be okay.
Well, he's gonna fight you.
Okay, who's going to fight the White King?
Yeah.
Finish him off before he
We're gonna try.
kills you. You don't have any command points to give yourself the +1 attack. 'Cause that's just in the.
Correct, but I get +1 attack as he charged me.
That's right.
Yes.
I did, because I ring of immortality. Sorry, I almost missed it. Jeez,
No.
I apologize to the audience for almost missing that opportunity to tick off Steve. 3 hits.
Oh.
With you still have your hammer though. 3s to wound. Oh, it's only -1. 4 up. Oh, it's saved. Hammer.
Still get you. Not
No,
anymore.
3s to wound. 1 wound, 3 up save. Oh yeah, you didn't even scratch me. Skeletons all into him. So the 5s become 4s. So we got 2 hits, 4s to wound. 2 wounds, man. 3 up. Oh, 6 up to ignore it. Oh no, that's an injury check, but now it's +1, or sorry, +2. 6, so that is knocked down, which he does not ignore. And he gets 3 more wound tokens. He is in trouble. No, he has 3 more wound tokens.
Oh, yeah,
So he's up to 5. And he's knocked down. We'll do this gently. But basically that means he can't act until your next movement phase when he stands up. So no hero phase for him. Next.
Johnny's gonna go ahead. 4s.
Oh.
3s.
And -1.
Yep.
So 6 up save. That does 2 damage, which they ignore on 6s. You killed 2 of them. We'll kill the standard, because really, who cares about -1 bravery right now? Let's do the 3 Graveguard into your Knight Incanter. 6 attacks, hitting on 3s. Ooh, we got 4 hits. Now, wounding on 3s, 6s are double damage. Uh-oh, Steve. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Okay, so the 1 double damage one, 4 up. You're good. Oh, he's good. He takes 1 damage. He also ignores wounds on a 6 up. No, he doesn't.
Oh, sorry. He does not ignore a 6 up.
Okay, I was going to say, man, everybody ignores.
I thought you were the other guy.
No, it was on him. I don't know why then restored the wound. So he goes down a wound.
Yes.
Let's back up for a second. The Prosecutor, Nero, and Titus had actually both leveled up. Titus just leveled up. Prosecutor had actually leveled up last turn. We forgot to roll for him. Wanted Nero first?
Yep.
Okay. 4 is rolling any upgrade tree.
I think so.
And you go on the Prosecutor
Yeah,
upgrades.
Prosecutor.
So D3. So you got a 2. So you roll twice on the speed upgrade table.
Nice.
So just roll 2d6 and re-roll doubles. 1 and 5. So it's +2 move when running, and re-roll runs.
Nice.
So he can get places quickly. Titus also gets to upgrade. 5 is rolling any upgrade tree. They go with combat for him.
Actually, real quick, he gets level 5. So what's his level 5 ability?
He gets +1 wound rolls against monsters and heroes. So now he'll have +1 to hit and +1 to wound against monsters. So you're gonna go for combat.
Yep.
3 is +2 to his charge ranges. Ooh. Nice.
Alright, yeah, Claudia's gonna go after that White King.
3s and 3s. You could kill him still. Yeah, -1, so I got 4 up. Oh, I made one of them. Does D3 damage. 2, which I ignore in 6s. Oh, 1. My White King will go next. He has no way to get to your other guys, so he's just going to have to strike at your Lord Celestant, who's down. This might kill your Lord Celestant. 3s to hit. 3s to wound. 6s are extra damage. Oh, -1 a Ren, so 4 up. Oh, they both get through. Hold on. They're D3 damage each.
Oh.
Not 2. So 4.
All right.
That's what it is. 6 up. So 3 of them get through. So that means you get to roll 3 injury tests, taking your worst plus. Yeah, okay, that's out. So out of action, he's going to have to roll on the character injury chart after the game, which could result in his death.
Cerberus is up.
Okay, can he get some retribution?
Does my... No, never mind. 3s.
So you're going to sharp end, I guess.
Yeah.
4s.
And 4s.
And 5 up save. And ignore it on a 6. 1 dies. And then my last one to go will be this White King into your Knight Encounter Claudius. 3s. And 3s. No 6s. So it's just 1 damage, minus 1 AP, 1 damage. Still in trouble though. He's down to 1 wound.
Okay, so what's your save on them? 5 up?
5 up.
We'll go for them.
Prosecutor.
Yeah. Nero's gonna hit on 3s and wound on 3s.
Oh, goodness. That's everybody. Nothing in the Battle Shock phase. But, whew, you took a beating there.
That was some damage.
That was some damage. But it is your turn next.
Spear Storm.
Right, it is your turn? Yeah, because I charge into you. Yeah, there's really nothing else to do in your hero phase. You do get a command point to help you with
That's the thing.
yeah. Okay, so Spirit Storm. So that's an 11, so I need a double 6 to stop it. No. That's basically going to hit everything on the board. So 6 up for the skeletons, 6 up for the Graveguard. Yes, oh, it's Graveguard, of course. White King. So the White King takes a wound, and we lose a skeleton. 6 up for the Graveguard, and for the White King. Okay, so you killed 2 of them. Let's kill him, and wound him.
Let me just scroll a condemnation on this White King over here.
So that's your special relic that once per battle in the hero phase, you choose a enemy hero within 12 inches, and everybody in your Stormcast Eternals team gets +1 to wound against them.
We gotta run a retreat over here.
And he gets +2 to that.
Yeah, he can't stick around.
So he's moving like a bajillion inches.
Actually, we're doing farther than that.
Stay away from the White King.
Claudius gonna fight first into the White King.
Try to finish him off.
Oh yeah. 3's to hit.
Oh, well, he could still kill him.
2's to wound.
No! No!
We're not killing.
Oh no, you're in trouble! Well, those 2 Graveguard are gonna go into him then. 3's to hit. Hey, that's not so hard. 3's to wound, 6s are double damage. Goodness! -1, so 4 up. 1 gets through.
That's it.
He has an injury check. Oh, that's knocked down! And 3 wound tokens. Oh no! It's gonna lie him on his back so we don't wreck his model. Oh goodness!
Silver's gonna go, and we're already touching, so just gonna go on this side.
Just get away from the guys.
Yeah, we should be.
So blunt end or
No,
sharp
keep going
end?
sharp end.
3s and 4s. Nope. No, didn't matter anyways. So the White King, you definitely got out of his range, but the Graveguard are still in range. So we'll be able to get 2 in there. 1, 2. And they are still buffed with their extra attack. Hitting on 3s. Oh, look at all those 6s. Can I get them again? 3s to wound. 6s. Oh, jeez. Okay, so that's double damage, but you get a 4 up save.
3 up save.
No, you 3 up because you ignore the first level of rend. Didn't matter, you rolled a 4.
Titus isn't gonna come all the way.
I will avenge you. Too bad he doesn't have a 2-inch reach. We kill those Graveguard.
On 3s.
And 4s. Okay, -1, so 6 up saves, otherwise they're 2 damage apiece.
There's 4s and 3s. I roll 3s to hit.
I don't remember. Whatever, you got them both through. 6s to ignore. You killed them. So both are dead. So the White King, seeing the new threat, because I don't like going for down guys when there's another threat, because it just doesn't seem like what a old champion would do. Because why take down 1 when you can take down 2? 3s to hit. Oh goodness. 3s to wound, 6s are extra damage. Okay, so we're just looking at 1 damage each. -1 though, 5 up. No 6s there, so...
Oh, this is your...
So he takes 2 wounds and goes down to 2.
I did 2 wounds.
Because I did 2 and you failed both of them.
No, it's
Did you roll a 4 and a 5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you take 1 wound. Last, and certainly least, the 2 skeletons. Yeah, I'm going to give them the +1 attack next time. 4s and 4s. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah! 3 up saves. Aha! Reroll the 1. Oh my goodness.
4.
Yeah. Back down to 4. Taking you down. Actually, does he start with 4 or 5?
Shows 4.
So he's down to 3.
Yes.
Yeah, it's my turn.
Yup.
So, skeletons and graveguard. Skeletons and graveguard. Goodness, 2 and 2. Graveguard. And skeletons. And then we're going to Mystic Shield the graveguard. Yep, you can try to stop it though. No, you can't. You are knocked down.
I'm stunned.
I might as well give them the extra attack. Then I'm going to move the White King and charge. 5 inches would get me there, right? Yep, definitely. Let's do the Graveguard. This is going to be nasty. 15 attacks. Ugh, they are too good. 3s. Oh, solid. And 3s. 6s are double damage. Goodness. Okay, but you ignore the first level of Ren, so you've got a 3-up re-rolling 1 save. So start with the double damage one. Okay. Then the other one. Oh, 2 wounds. You're down to 1. I don't know, man. I think he's in trouble.
You punch the White King.
Titus into the White King.
4s.
Ugh.
3s. No, actually, +1 to hit.
That's right. So that's another hit.
And wounding on 2s.
That's right, because against heroes, you get +1 to hit and now +1 to wound.
And you let those powers additional +1, so it's actually hitting on 2s.
Oh, that's right. Layla of the
Yeah.
Tyrants. That's a thing.
I rolled a 1, so.
Yeah, you rolled a 1. So that means I've got 4-up saves. Otherwise, if I fail one of these 4-ups, you could kill him.
Good.
4-up. Oh, 4 wounds.
Does he have
He ignores wounds on 6s. I need to roll 3 6s. No, you take him down. As you smash the White King aside and it crumbles to the ground, you notice pieces of his bones all of a sudden turn to vapor and then coalesce into a gem. Hold on. Not this one, because I just opened up the page. So Steve is going to hit F5. A common white gem of resist destruction. So you get -1 hit rolls for destruction enemies targeting this model. So you have to make a choice. You either immediately put it on the guy who just found it, or you hold on to it.
hang on to it.
You hang on to it for somebody else. And then the White King is going to swing at Severus. Can you resist it? 3s to hit. Oh man, I'm rolling good. 3s to wound, 6s are more damage. That's every single one of them. Now, you ignore the first level of Ren, so you get a 3-up, re-rolling 1s. Oh, the D3 damage goes through. And the other ones? Oh, they go through. D3 +1 damage. That's 3. That's 3 injury checks, taking your worst one. Boom, knocked down with 3 wound tokens. And he could die right now, because now the skeletons are going to start chopping at him. He didn't even get a chance to fight. Just going to line it like that. Oh, 4s and 4s. Oh, they're so good. My goodness. 3-up saves, re-rolling 1s. Re-roll those 1s. Oh no, the 1 gets through. So hold on, before you roll it, let's lay out the what's on the line here. You got 3 wound tokens already, so you're getting +3. So that means a 5 or higher, and he's out. 3, so that's a 6. That's 3 more wound tokens. Up to 6. Oh, he's so in trouble. I actually forgot that you ignore damage on a 4, on a 6+. So go ahead and roll 4 dice. Yeah, it didn't matter. And then you had, oh, you have tough. Okay, we got to redo this a little bit then. But first off, ignore the damage from the skeletons on 6+. No, okay, so tough would have made that 6 a 5, that first one. So you'd only been stunned with 2, which means you would have been able to fight back before then getting hit.
Okay.
And then you would have rolled a 5 and got knocked down.
Okay.
Because that would 5 would become a 4 plus a 2 still would have been a 6. So you would end up knocked down with 5 wound tokens, but you would have got to strike before that happened.
But they only did 1 to me, right? So they wouldn't have made a difference.
Well, they're the ones that brought you from 2 to 5. They made a big difference.
Oh.
So if you want to attack them,
Yeah, well, they wouldn't have attacked it.
or you could attack him and they wouldn't have got the +1 to hit. It really changes a lot. You want to go after the skeletons?
Yeah. I don't know what.
If you kill at least one of them, I'll re-roll their attacks. 3s to hit, 4s to wound, 5-up save, 6-up ignoring it. Okay, you know what? I'll re-roll it. So that means that we'll stand you back up because you're stunned with 2 wound tokens.
I can't be stunned.
Well, you still have to.
Gotcha.
So okay, yeah, you weren't stunned, so you didn't get. We didn't get you the -1, so you're good. But we forgot anyways.
So confused.
I know, right? This is the order of operations thrown off. So now the 3 skeletons will attack. So it's 4s and 4s.
It's gonna be worse.
I know. Now you're just gonna die. No, nothing.
all right.
Okay, so you went from being down with 6 wound tokens to not being stunned with 2 wound tokens.
I'll take it.
Yay! Oh boy, now it's your turn.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, when you're knocked down, you don't get to act until the movement phase, so he doesn't get to Spirit Storm everybody.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think. How far does Titus move?
He moves further than.
6?
I don't think he's going to get. Well, he might be able to get there.
Nah.
Okay, well, if you want to go to the movement phase, stand up the Knight Incanter first off.
Oh, I can make a boxcar in.
Doesn't he get a +2 to his charge?
Does he get that?
I thought he just got that upgrade. So he'll need a 10-inch charge, essentially. You're put right here. Where's your prosecutor going?
He is going to be going, actually.
Just go in. Just do it.
Wonder if.
Don't go for the Graveguard, man. I can just resurrect them.
But I need to stop the attacks.
You need to kill the White King.
Oh, this is a bad call, and you know it.
Well, I'm not. I'm just saying. So whatever. So you're going to throw the hammers at the White King?
Actually, I heal Severus potentially.
Oh, that's right. So on a 5+, he gets a wound back. 1 wound back. So he's back up to 2 wounds. Still has his 2 wound tokens. And everybody else is too far away to be healed at the time.
We're going to hammer the White King.
You see if you get lucky.
4.
4s and 4s. Ah. Alright.
I'll take it.
3 up. No.
So he's going to charge first.
So he needs 12 inches, but he gets +2. Can you roll it? Do you want to use your command point to
yes,
reroll?
I do.
Oh, he didn't even need the +2.
Okay.
He's in.
All
He's
right,
a 14-inch charge.
In that case, we're going to go on the far side.
And then you want him to charge in?
Yes, I do.
And just keep him right here, because 3 inches is his minimum.
That's true.
And then he fights first automatically. So 3s to hit. Oh, why is he sucking so bad? 3 up save? No.
Right.
Okay, well. Now do you want Titus to go?
Titus for my first pick.
Okay, Titus.
He's 2s and 2s because of all my buffs.
That's right, because you get +1 against heroes.
Yes.
What is the other +1?
Lilo the Tyrant plus
Oh,
1.
Lilo the Tyrants.
And then +1 for Astral Templar, and then because level 5, +1.
So your
to
4+
wound,
becomes a 2+.
And then a +1 to wound because of my upgrade. So.
And you're level 5, which gives you +1 to
so
wounds against heroes.
-1 to wound, he's still winning on 2+.
So you're a 2+, 1+, but 1s always fail.
Yeah.
So let's do your hits first. And 2s. Oh, there's a 1. I get a 4 up save. Oh, that's 2 wounds. 6 up. He's dead.
Woo!
As you strike him down, he holds up his fist. And he goes, Ring of Immortality! But it doesn't work.
Okay, good.
And instead, once again, from his remains, you see another gem appear. Refresh. And you find a common red gem of preservation.
It's destruction!
+1 hit rolls against destruction. Why are you finding everything that's good against destruction? And then the Graveguard are going to smash into Severus. They're still invigorated, because I just choose a unit, and until my next hero phase, they get the +1 attack. Yeah, that please. Oh, and I died. 3s. Oh, they're not still invigorated.
They're scared.
3s. Oh, well, yeah, that's double damage over there. You get a 3 up save, re-rolling 1s. Oh. Your dice are just trying to freak you out. They're giving you heart
I
attacks.
can't handle this.
And then he's going to strike back?
Yeah, he gets the skeletons.
Yes. Before they...
Alright, 3s.
Yes, and
And
4s.
4s.
There's just 1. And 5 up. But no 6 up. So 1 skeleton dies and the other 2 fight back. Just back to 5s. No hero. 4s? Oh, that would have been hilarious. 1 little pokey stick and down he goes. Now it's my turn. So really we just go right back to the combat phase. Graveguard into Severus. No longer getting the extra attacks, so 10 attacks. 3s to hit. I think that's as many attacks as I got last time. 3s to wound. Oh, that's a lot.
That's exactly as last time.
Yeah.
Alright.
3 up, re-rolling. Oh, there's again! Oh no, 1 gets through, and then the other one does not get through. You don't ignore wounds, do you? You do on him. 6 up, you ignore
right.
wounds.
No.
So he takes 1 wound, that's an injury check. Oh no, he had 2 wounds left.
Oh, it's true.
The healing shield saved him. Again. Man, he is a tank.
Wait, wouldn't that take him to 1? He only healed 1, not 2.
Yeah, but you when you roll in the injury chart,
Yeah.
if you're not taken out of action, you have 1 wound left.
Gotcha.
You always count as having 1 wound left.
Gotcha.
Now it's your turn. Who's fighting next?
It's gonna be
All 3 of these guys.
Prosecutor. He's gonna go after the skeletons. Nero's my best bet of actually hurting them.
Oh, goodness. Well, you got 1 in there. 5 up. You got 1. How are you rolling so badly and I'm rolling so well? The 1 skeleton's going to strike at Severus.
Can't hurt me.
You ready for it? 5's the hit. Oh. And then Titus?
Yeah, he's no whack the graveyard. 4's the hit. 3's to wound. -1.
6 up. And then it does 2 damage.
Yep.
So 2 of them die. And then Severus still gets to attack? Against with the graveyard or the skeleton?
Graveyard. 3's.
Oh my goodness, man.
4's.
5 up. Oh, I guess 1. And normally I'd be like, no, we're done. But let's just do your hero phase.
Just do a Spirit Storm.
Yep, because he gets +1. And I don't get to ignore it, so 1 of them dies, and 1 of them dies, and you can heal. If you roll a 5+ on him, then we're done. Okay, we're done. Because it's just very unlikely that I'm gonna. I can't kill him with only 2 wound tokens because he has tough. And so we're gonna say that you take down the Graveguard and end the scenario there. Now from now on, we're going to do it right when it happens, but right now, this game will do it because I forgot that I want to do it right when it happens. We're going to do the death chart right now. So this is a D66 chart. Remember, you can find all the rules over at miniwargaming.com/rules. And basically, if the first die is a 1, he's dead. You want the first die to be a 5 or a 6. 6 is good because you actually get experience from dying.
Okay.
So what's the first die?
Orange and then white.
So orange is first?
Yep.
32. It's a minor injury. He gets a permanent -1 movement.
Okay, he's down to 7.
Lord Celestant, Augustus is limping a little bit right now with that -1 movement, obviously.
Still faster than everybody else.
Well, that's because of an enchanted armor. It's kind of cheating. It's like being in a car and be like, I'm faster than you, sprinter. And
Yeah.
so he limps forward, kind of grunting. He's like, oh, that's going to sting. Because they don't have access to the Lord Relictors who get to heal them and all that kind of fun stuff. And so he's just going to have to live with that injury. And with the curse, slowly have it become, all-consuming, which was not very fun. So then after this, he leads them forward, gems in hand, as they head into the crypts of the City of Forgotten Heroes. And we will see that mission at the link below in the MiniWarGaming Vault. We'll do experience too.
Okay,
Don't worry.
One more experience.
Yeah, we're gonna do experience. I'm trying to finish the story. Here you are just whining for experience.
Camera was down when I started the wine. It was supposed to be off camera.
Now we're gonna do the experience for just showing up. 2d6 for each of them. 3. You know he's not cheating when he does that because he just plays it now. This one gets double, so it's that 7 becomes 14, and 5 and 8.
Just come a little.
With those experience, Titus and Severus both leveled up, and nobody else did, although Nero came very, very close. So roll, which one do you want to do
Let's
first?
do Titus.
8. So he can randomize attack or move, which means you don't get to choose.
I'll get a move.
You're probably going to move. Actually, did he already move? Did he already upgrade his move twice?
Has, but I don't think twice.
Okay, so yeah, you have to upgrade it
Yeah.
twice. Or you can roll in close combat or shooting.
Ah.
And you can choose, like it's not a random
I
close
want another attack.
Well, then roll a D6.
But then I gotta get another move.
If you roll 1, 2, or 3, you get the extra attack. 4, 5, or 6 is the extra move.
We'll take combat. It's too
Yeah?
risky. It's too risky.
Oh, just do it, man. Just do the attack or move. The attack's really good.
I know, but I'm not. Fine.
Attack!
Got it!
Woo! So now his hammer has 4 attacks.
4 attacks.
See,
Yeah.
told you. And then we've got Severus. Rolls a 7, so that's a totally random stat. So D3 between attack, wound, or move. Or roll on any general upgrade tree. You're gonna go on toughness again?
Yep.
So there's only 50-50 because you still don't have the... You have the cannot be stunned, but you don't have the cannot be knocked down. And you also don't have the regenerate one. So 1, 2, 3 is a cannot be knocked down.
Can't be knocked down?
That's nice. The regenerate's nice, especially on him. But just imagine not being able to be knocked down now. So now you can just... He'll take wound tokens, but he can't be stunned or knocked down. And that is our mission for today. Near death experience for our Lord Celestant.
Close.
Everybody else fought pretty hard. You got a couple extra gems that you have to decide between games if you want to model them on anybody or just hold on to them.
Pocket gems.
Pocket gems?
We might have to grind them up one day, throw them to his eyes.
Yeah, that's true. Pocket gems. That's how it works. Until you come across, you're going to come across a destruction army and be like, oh,
crap!
I got to stick. I guess you could always do that, right?
Oh, that goes here now.
The problem is
Snork.
It's Snork, yeah. And so yeah, so stay tuned. The next game is in the description below in the MiniWarGaming Vault. If you're not a Vault member, you can go to miniwargaming.com/AOS as an Age of Sigmar and get this narrative campaign and 2 others for free. Thanks for watching. Happy wargaming.